This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Always love getting together with her. It's an eye-opener in terms of tapping into our creativity, which ultimately makes us feel better, i.e. therapy. Yeah, she is a art therapist, and we've had some really interesting epiphanies, discoveries, information. Today we're going to talk about art in the community. And a lot of things we've said before we even got on here today that I was like, really? That's going on? Super cool stuff. She's our Professional of the Year. Barbara Robertson is back. How is everything going with you?
Very well, thanks. Yeah, I'm having a good time.
So when we talk about this community thing, the art thing, the first thing that I think of is when they do paint night. You pay, and you get a bunch of people or go by yourself, whatever it might be, and there's an artist that facilitates a painting, and everybody paints the same painting in their own style, have a glass of wine. Wonderful experience. Sometimes they do it as fundraisers, but that's bringing people together through art. But there's apparently more going on in our world.
There is, and we've mentioned paint nights before, and we kind of talked about the community of listeners that happen to connect with this particular topic, are interested in art or developing their own creativity, or just sort of hearing about what happens in art making for a person's emotional, sort of state. And I was talking with my sister earlier this week, and she happened to mention that she and some of her extended family members do their own paint night. And I thought that was such a great idea. They get together on FaceTime. So, they're one of them is on the West Coast, another on the East Coast. They're in different parts of the country. They get together at a set time. They decide what topic they want to draw. And then they start out to draw and check in with each other as they go and share what they've finished at the end. And of course, because they've already got good relationships with one another, there's a level of safety there that lets them really just do what they feel like doing in the moment. They can get goofy with it, they can be serious with it. And they don't need to worry about that inner or an outer critic popping up.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how that could go bad if you don't have that level of trust and safety and comfort, a feeling of being comfortable. I mean,
Exactly.
I could hear it now. Barbara, that doesn't look like a bird, but it is a bird. I'm telling you, I painted a bird. It doesn't look
Right.
like one. No, if you see a bird and that's your interpretation, nobody ever got on somebody's case for doing an abstract, and they said that's the forest, the trees, and the ocean, but it doesn't look like one. So
Exactly.
nobody to question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, art really is one of the few truly open-ended activities that we can engage in where there is no right answer. There is no one right way.
Hmm.
And I think maybe sometimes that can be intimidating for people because it doesn't help in deciding what to do. But my sister told me also about a cool little app that you can get on the phone called Wanna Draw. And you can hit the buttons on the screen. Let's see, can I show you this?
I actually can see it. Yeah.
Wanna Draw, you hit the button and it sends lots of different ideas. This is who are you drawing? And I happen to hit a gnome. And then what are they doing? I happen to hit on Safari. So there would be a goofy idea to start with, a gnome on Safari, the garden gnome gone way off course.
It's almost like sort of like Pictionary. I think that's what it was called, but
Yeah,
but, but
exactly.
but the other person knows what you're drawing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody so they might use that app together and say, okay, whose turn is it to pick this week? And that person would, stop the little spinning on the app and see whatever came up. And if it sort of tickled everyone the right way, they'd say, okay, we're going to draw a gnome on Safari today.
See, for me, if I'm going to do that, you can do it with your finger, um, but I would get a stylus. Many of them they give them away for free.
Sure.
If you're at you know, a festival or something, you get a pen and it's got a stylus on the back of it. I would want to have better control than trying to do it with your finger.
Oh yeah. 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 Well, again, it's something to play with, and you can send them
Sure,
spinning and stop them any number of times. And
love
then
it.
my sister was telling me that one of their younger family members, who's still in her teens, joined in recently and came up with a new idea that I think is a wonderful icebreaker. She said, "Why don't we first draw with our eyes closed?" So they've decided on a subject, a topic to draw, let's say an animal of some kind, and they all close their eyes and stay true to that intent
Mm.
and put lines on the page as best as they can judge to sort of give a rough outline of that particular topic. And then they stop and share with each other.
Why don't we do it?
Oh, that's a great
Is that
idea.
is that are you able to? I mean, I have
I I am.
actually have a blank piece of paper in front of me.
Oh, good for you.
And I have my favorite old school flare marker.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that. You
Yeah.
really like that. Yeah.
Actually, I saw a friend last night and she also loves them. So she said, I got something for you. And she bought a package of like four of them.
Oh, very
So
cool.
all different
Yeah.
colors.
It's
Yeah.
never, you can never have too many, right?
Oh, the best.
Okay, I gotta find my Sharpie because that's my favorite one for doing.
Yeah, essentially this is like a Sharpie. The Sharpie for me is sometimes the point's a little more, but
Yeah.
then as opposed to like one of these rollerball pens where
Oh, yeah.
it's just that I don't know,
It's
that
a
just
really fine line.
doesn't it
Yeah.
doesn't it doesn't flow.
That's
Doesn't work for me.
right. If it's not gonna float your boat, just chuck it. Yeah,
Out of here.
totally. Okay. So, what do you want to draw?
I'm gonna let you pick it.
Oh boy. Okay, well, let's draw something that might be forgiving. Last week you talked about a scene with a palm tree at the beach.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
And we have to do this with our eyes closed or not looking down at the page. Actually, with your eyes closed, it's different.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
with your eyes closed is probably the best, and just kind of do the best you can.
And all right, I'm gonna hang on, jumping in here. And in our minds, we'll put like a 60-second limit. All right.
Yeah,
So
that's good. That's good. Okay, so
my
like
all right, my eyes are closed, and this is really weird. It's kind of you draw something and then you wonder when you want to meet it again, that line.
right, is it gonna be there?
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. I'm gone as far as I'm gonna go with my eyes closed at this point. So you
Don't you
can.
be looking at the page though. Are you
Oh
looking at
no,
the
I
page?
haven't looked. Have
All
not
right.
looked.
I haven't. I have no idea how this is going to go. Like, part of me is embarrassed of what this could come out to look like, but then another part of me is like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the icebreaker part of it. So you all start out doing a drawing that's inevitably imperfect. And then you get
All
to,
right. I think I'm good. I haven't looked at it. My hand's over it right now.
okay, awesome. Awesome. Ready to look?
All
On
right. All right.
three.
It's oh my God. I am like, I never say this. I'm blanking impressed. And I did not look, I swear. So I don't know if you can see. Ah, man. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Okay, so
awesome.
that's to be
Oh,
the palm tree.
yeah.
There's the fronds. There's a
Yep.
cloud. There's a cloud. This was supposed to be some, maybe some sand. And then I was like, oh, let me add water. The water's
There
actually
you
down there.
go.
Huh.
Cool.
And there's actually a
Yeah.
bird. There's a bird flying over there, and there's
Oh, wow. You put a lot of
another
detail
one.
in. Okay, so here's mine. My my
That
tree
they
topsoil.
are in many regards similar. Um, I like the flow and the fluidness of the palms at the top, and I can almost see that immediately translating to a painting. Like seriously, that's the pencil lines, and we could easily add color to that, just the way it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you could even, I mean, just take advantage of how the trunk is disconnected from the top
Uh-huh.
and put some color that isn't conforming to the lines exactly.
Which is
You know,
fine. Yeah.
sort of, yeah, I mean, just kind of play with that freedom now that I've given myself by not drawing it perfectly. Now it's giving me some ways to play with it.
And I even attempted, you didn't care, and I should have rolled your way with the background in back of the tree. So
Uh-huh.
you just drew the line, which is fine. If you notice, I drew it and I was like, let me come back and
Oh, right, there's the gap. I
there's
see
the
that.
gap. Yeah,
Yep,
I was like,
yep,
I was winging it. I figured, let me see if I get lucky. It's almost like I want to test myself. Um,
right,
but
right.
um, I'm kind of amazed how they both look pretty damn good.
They do. And how do you feel after drawing it?
Um, Let me find the right word. Accomplished. Um,
That's cool. Yeah,
Surprised.
yeah, yeah.
Impressed. I expected a mess, and I was like, all right, you know what? That's encouraged to do this again. Um, it's different though when you do it with somebody else because I've sat here and sometimes I'll just have my eyes closed and this was more intentional where I wasn't obsessed with gotta get it right, but I was like,
Right.
I'm gonna apply my mind and my hand to try and get it, reasonably close to what's in my mind where
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're doing it together and I wanted to have a certain look, not that I want to impress you, but I want to put the effort in, if you will.
Sure. Yeah,
When I'm just sitting here and close my eyes, or I'm just blah, 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 it doesn't look like anything. It's just like a mess.
right.
Yeah, which is nothing wrong either. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm,
yeah. No, I mean,
it's
I
fun.
noticed my kind of my energy level picked up a little bit. I was like,
I
yeah,
got you.
pleased in that same way. I was like, oh, those little lines for the edge of the water and the edge of the waves. Those are not half bad, you know? I was like, yeah, I could see doing that. And it's the tree also, as I'm looking at it more, I'm seeing a dancing figure.
I could see that.
See, the trunk is kind of like swaying in a way that looks kind of playful.
You definitely, um, even though they're just lines, there
Yeah.
is as I said before with the palms, there's a fluidness to it where, I don't have that. Um, but I'm more, when I draw, I'm detailed. So,
Yeah.
I'm getting each, I'm making it very detailed in the palm, the
Right.
fronds, however you want
Right.
to verbalize it.
Yeah.
Yours is more of a fluid. Mine is, I pilot more on drawing. You're more of a painter.
I
And I,
think that's probably true in a way, but it wasn't always true. When I kind of started out early on, really, trying to work at being professional and how I produced my art, I was very detail oriented, very particular. And I can still fall into something that feels a little bit like a trap of just
yes.
rendering too perfectly.
Uh-huh.
And
Yes.
so, part of it has been a long learning curve for my hands to get to take the lead.
I totally
And
understand what you're saying.
I think that that's the other cool thing about drawing with your eyes closed, even to do that as a warm up if you're by yourself before you sit down to draw something that you want to draw in a more intentional way, just to
Mm.
let yourself draw with some image in mind, in your mind, and see what happens is really letting your hand take a lead and how it meets the page with the mark. And
Looking
that,
in,
yeah.
in what we're talking about here, I just got a memory. I was about 13-ish, 12,
Hmm.
13, 14, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And there was a local artist named, I don't know how I remember it, Robert Zoller. And he was a local known artist,
Yeah.
gave lessons. And my mom signed me up for, I think it's called Zumi, which is
Okay.
Japanese painting. And
Yes.
when you
Yeah.
paint with just one big brush, you make your own medium. It's just a stick of, could be charcoal or whatever it is. And on this board, you add some water and you make the color yourself. So I would sit there and I would draw, and a mouse could have 5 strokes and you're done. You just take it and it's a
Sure.
shape like that. And looking back at it, I wanted to be a cartoonist. So I was like, why am I doing this? I want to draw like little cartoons and everything. I didn't get it that this was expression. I should have taken that opportunity, the freedom of expression, and just enjoy the experience. But I was always looking for the next thing. Like, I want to do a watercolor with a barn. It's got to be instead
Right,
of
right,
just enjoying taking a
right.
brush and just having fun with it. Um,
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
I see it, but I'm sharing that because I feel a lot of us fall into that trap where we're missing the point here of
yeah,
expression,
yeah.
i.e., and therapy, where we get fixated on it's got to be the perfect paint. If I'm going to take the time, it's got to come out as best I can make it because I'm going to hang it on the wall. Great, okay, but that's not why we're doing this, right?
Exactly, exactly. No, it so often happens that we are more critical of our own work than anyone else's. I saw that in the groups that I was leading all the time.
It's
Someone,
uh, it's sad, isn't it?
it really is. It really is. Because we'd be sharing at the end and someone would be really shy and would be like, okay, this is what I did, but it's awful. I made a lot of mistakes. And everyone else is going, what? Where?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. We love that. And
Hmm.
it's so hard for the person to really take in as verifiable, as
Yeah.
valid. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But that's
Regretfully, I fell into that trap drawing cartoons when I was younger because I wasted so much paper. And I would be even 3/4 through. It would take, and it was a comic strip, not just a panel, so it took longer.
oh,
I could have
right.
taken 3 hours on it.
Yeah,
And if it didn't look a certain way, in the garbage. But if you looked at every one I did after we took them out of the garbage and opened up the paper, you'd
yeah.
say they all look the same, Steve. What are you worried about? They're all, they're all great. Yeah, they all look the same. And I'd be no, but I got to get over that. We all need to get over that and just enjoy.
Yeah. And I think we all need to do that also. I do think we all need to kind of go through that experience
Mm, mm.
until we kind of gain comfort with, kind of realizing, oh, you know what? I guess it really doesn't have to be perfect in order to be readable. I mean, sometimes, my clients will say, well, can you tell what it is? And that's kind of a slippery slope that's a little bit scary, but also, well, it looks like it could be something in flight, or kind of try to describe the movement that I see happening rather than the object itself.
But Barbara, this is what I'm getting from you. It doesn't blank and matter.
Yeah,
It
that's
doesn't matter. It
that's
doesn't
right.
matter if I drew a bird in flight and you're not seeing it. I know what it is. And as
Yep,
long as and all art can and should be appreciated, who
yep,
cares? It doesn't matter. And
right.
it's taken me my life to realize that, but it doesn't matter.
Well, and the other bottom line is art is one of the few things that can speak a different language to each viewer.
Yes.
So I could see a soaring spirit, and someone else could see a jet plane, and someone else could see a fly or a mosquito. But it wouldn't really matter because those are the things that we find in the image that we can feel connected to, and
Hmm.
that we can kind of create meaning for ourselves from what we see.
You helped me form this statement I'm going to make. If everyone releases their creativity and gets over worrying about what it's going to look like and what it is, if you release your creativity, everyone is an artist. Everyone is an artist. The challenge is if you think you can't, then you can't, and then you get stymied or stuck into it looking a certain way, and then it's half done and it's not this, it's not that. If we just let it flow out of us,
Absolutely. That's right.
works
That's
of
right.
art, every single one is a work of art.
And you know what? I want to nudge people who are thinking that they don't have a creative bone in their body.
Mm,
Get through a single day in life without creating your day. You're creating your life every minute of every
Oh.
day. You're
Hmm.
already using creativity. You just haven't called it that.
You're one.
But
Thank you for saying that.
yeah, just give
Mhm.
that a moment to let that sink in. So it's already being exercised. You're practicing with it every time. And you know when you make a decision that feels really good and one that doesn't. It's the same thing with making marks on a surface or making dents in a ball of clay. It's the same thing.
But it needs to flow from the mind, the soul, the heart, the body to the hand when you throw it down on the canvas, paper, whatever it is.
Yep.
But there's a disconnect sometimes in that process, and it doesn't come out the way you want it to. And
Yes.
then you feel like
Yeah.
you're judged and other people might judge you, whatever. But if you just let it flow out, everybody can do something. But the creativity thing, there are some that believe that we created this moment. It's already done. This right now is a memory.
Right.
This right here is a
Exactly.
memory.
Yep. Yep.
We
That's right.
we created it through energy. Call it manifestation. That's a
Exactly.
whole other podcast here. One of my favorite topics. But you create everything. Think of your day. Every creative problem solving.
That's right.
Every little thing. If you start thinking about it, there's so much creativity. And I also believe that we are here. We are here to create and learn. That's why we exist.
Right.
And to teach what you've learned, but the creative
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, or to share it in some way, and I think it really begins to depend on us trusting. Like I trust that my hands are connected to my spirit, my mind, my heart,
yeah.
my emotional self, my core self. And so I've
Mm.
learned that I can trust my hands to take the lead when I want to make something visual.
Mm. Well, you've gotten to that point where I guess it's faith too. You have faith in yourself that you, but I believe here when it comes to this creative thing, you've made the connection, and many of us haven't made the connection to self.
Yes, which doesn't mean it can't exist.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it already does exist. We really have to find our way to it. We don't have to invent it. We just have to discover it.
Hmm. You are like the license to creativity. That's it's how I view you. It is, but
That's that's what I'm hoping I can open for other people because it's brought so much joy to me to really be able to relax and be open to the process. It's made me feel more fully alive, find
mm,
more play in my life, find more joy in my day.
yeah,
I just, I also believe that it's our job to find ways to appreciate whatever shows up on the page, just as you and I did with our
yeah.
little blind
Hmm.
imagery, found things to appreciate about what showed up.
But it's more than just a piece of paper and a Sharpie. It's there's more going on here.
It's hand and heart. Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. Wow.
Yep. Handmade, heart made. It's all there.
I would. I'm not the artist, but I can see what you just did there, and that I can see the painting. I really can.
Thank
Like
you.
I, it could be easily turned into something, a true work of art. Not that it isn't, but with color. Um,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Well, I
Um,
can play with a little bit more this week. So next week, I would really love to talk about how to make art without drawing. There's so many cool ways to do that. If you're anxious about making lines and marks yourself, I've got some great things to share with you.
I would love to hear that. And you're like on top of it. That's why people get fixated into thinking, I don't have any talent. I can't draw. It starts with, I can't draw. Then don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How do
Lots of
we
options open.
how,
Okay.
how do we find you? If somebody's, looking to go deeper, want to express themselves, even from the therapeutic end, how do they connect with you?
So shoot me an email at B as in Barbara, Robertson, Robertson @gmail.com, or check out my website, which is Robertson Art Therapy LLC, all spelled out, no punctuation.com. And there's also a way to connect with me through the website.
Thank you for today, and thank you for allowing us to be creative. I really mean that.
It's an invitation. You gave yourself permission to do it.
You opened the door, but we walked through.
There you go. I like that.
Have a great weekend. We'll catch up next week.
You too. Take
Thank you.
care, Steve.
We'll be
Bye
right
now.
back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.